The Smashing Machine is out. Well, it's not out for general release, but it was at the Venice Film Festival. He looked quite different, Dutch. We can talk.
Wow.
Do you want to talk about The Rock's appearance, or do you want to talk about the trailer first? Whichever you want.
Can we see the trailer? We can see that.
No.
Why?
Because then this episode will get pulled down.
Just seeing a trailer, I thought they wanted it advertised.
Yeah, but we can't use it.
Okay, I watched the trailer. At first look, you can't even tell it's The Rock. It was almost a different voice, which speaks of Rock's ability to morph into the character. Didn't sound like Rock. It really didn't look like Rock at all. And if I hadn't have known that it was The Rock, I would have never. If you'd have asked me without me reading that, this movie was made and he was in it, and if you just shown me that clip, said, who is this actor? I couldn't tell you. And this was at the Cannes Film Festival.
No, Venice Film Festival.
Venice.
Yeah.
He got a hell of a damn ovation for it. They said 15 minutes.
Yep. They say 15 minutes standing ovation.
Isn't that a long time to get a standing ovation?
I've already left it in my car and halfway home. 15
no
minutes
kidding.
After the credits.
I already went down to Cracker Barrel. And that's another story. I already went down to McDonald's, got my food. I'm gone.
Oh, just very quickly. Apparently, the Cracker Barrel people have reverted back to the old logo.
Oh, they have.
Yeah, so you can go back there now.
Oh, well, I never liked it before that much. When I turned off Cracker Barrel, I went in there one day and they were really chintzy. You like that word, chintzy? Mm-hmm. Really chintzy on their portions. I mean, it was like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I said, well, if you're going to be this chintzy about it, I just won't come back anymore. And I didn't go back. I hadn't been in a Cracker Barrel in, I bet, 20 years, at least. More, maybe 30 years.
Well, do you know what? Cracker Barrel's probably not going to see The Rock in there anytime soon because he's gone on some weight management system. He's either started taking stuff or he's stopped taking stuff, Dutch, but he looks way thinner. They say he's lost 60 pounds in probably 5 months.
I was going to say at least 50 pounds. But to me, he still looks good. You think he looks too skinny?
Well, I'm used to The Rock as 260 plus, I guess. He looks. Do you remember when we saw not too long ago Batista and he'd lost so much weight and then wore pearls?
Batista to me looked sickly almost. The Rock doesn't look sickly, but he does look like it, and it's very obvious when you see him. Wow, has he lost weight? A lot of people say, hey, he trimmed up. I couldn't tell he trimmed up, but he had on a nice shirt, nice pair of pants, and of course his facial looks the same. His face looked the same, but you could tell. And I said he's lost at least 50 pounds. What is he weighing now?
Well, I think in wrestling terms, he's probably weighed as much as 280 or 285, over the years. He was probably 265 something. So, I mean, he's probably lost. He probably weighs more like 220 or something, maybe even less.
Yep. Okay, so what was your question about The Rock?
Well, basically, I mean, this is pretty drastic change. I've got a couple of questions. One, you've already answered. You said, no, he looks good. He still looks good. But I think when people of a certain age, and heck, if I lost a lot of weight, I'd probably look older as well. But you like a certain size for so long, and then you lose weight really quickly. It makes you look older. I always think, like it plumps out your wrinkles and stuff like that. But, now he's lost a lot of weight. I think he looks quite a lot older than he did. But other than that, you say, no, he looks better for it. Do you think he looks better for it?
Well, I thought he was a little too big before. Carrying that extra weight like that is very hard. It's hard on you. It's hard on your body, hard on your knees, and your ankles probably carrying all that weight. Plus, it's I guess hard on your hearts, or did I say that?
No, you didn't.
So, but who was the role he was playing?
He was
What's he smashing what?
Smashing Machine. He's playing Mark Kerr. Now, in that film,
Mark Kerr.
he's like 265, 270. He's huge in that. But apparently, he may have lost weight either for health reasons or because he's got an upcoming role in a Martin Scorsese movie relating to Hawaii's only mob boss that's going to be filming soon. So, yeah, that might be either one or both might be the reason.
Well, I think this movie will do well. Mark Kerr, are you familiar with him?
Yeah, he was one of my favorites back in the early days of UFC. I don't
remember him for some reason.
He was only on 2 UFC events.
Maybe that was the time I was in jail. They didn't have a TV, had a radio, didn't have a TV. So,
well, in fairness, you probably didn't have Japanese TV, which is where he more predominantly fought in.
Oh, so he was in Japan where he made his mark.
Well, he won 2 UFC tournaments, I think back to back, and then he went to Pride FC in Japan and became an even bigger star there. And then he ended up being hooked on the painkillers and took a huge toll on his personal life and professional life and health.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still alive, which is good.
Yeah, well. So he didn't OD or anything off the drugs.
Well, he didn't die. So, I mean, he probably did OD at some point. Who knows? Here's the other thing I want to ask you about The Rock then. So he's so much slimmer now. Do you think he's done with wrestling? Or do you think...
Rock?
Yeah, or do you think in a year's time he will put on the weight and get back in the ring again or, be a character on the show?
Oh, the thing about wrestling is you don't quit the wrestling. The wrestling quits you. That's the way it works. So, and I think if he wanted at any time, say in the next 10 years, I think The Rock will still maintain a great body. He'll still work out because that's a lifestyle. But I think anytime WWE needs him or wants him, or TKO wants him, that he could be available for for a match or anything else, or just a spokesman or just to fill in like he was doing before. Yeah, I think he would fit right in. The Rock needs no get over time because they booked The Rock. Everybody, the world knows who The Rock is.
Yeah, but do you think he'll want to be in trunks at 215 pounds? Or do you think he'll try and bulk up again if he does actually wrestle?
No, he will bulk up again. Because I've seen guys, now these are guys that didn't have the use of enhancers, and they could bulk up and down in a month. I'd see a guy, he'd be kind of skinny, and all of a sudden he gets on the steroids, and you see him again, he's put on like almost 20 pounds. And that's a lot of weight to put on in a month. And I said, what happened to you? He said, I just went back working out. Yeah, you went back working out with some help. But those guys could really, really bulk up. Mm-hmm. And it was amazing to see it. I mean, I saw it and didn't believe it on a guy named Don Fargo. You ever heard of Don Fargo?
Oh, yeah.
He was a crazy, crazy bastard and a good guy. Here's a story about Don Fargo. He had a brother called, just put any first name there, and they were posing as bikers. So the Hells Angels went to a match that they were in. It was in Ohio somewhere. And all the Hells Angels showed up, and he went to the ring. Yeah, go. And he was a heel, and they were cheering the hell out of him. Of course, nobody said anything to the Hells Angels because people said over there, said, I won't boo him because they might look over here and see me. So they thought they were big fans. So they invited them to come out with them that night for a little party. Well, they went. and they damn near killed both of them. They got them out there. Now they had them where they wanted them. I think they beat the hell out of his partner, and Don somehow got away. And I guess he found his buddy the day after, and he was beat all to hell. And they didn't know these guys, so they don't know who did it. So, and this is back in like the 60s, the late 60s, early 70s. But I don't think, I think Don Fargo dropped his biker gimmick right then. But I don't know what, I think it's probably documented somewhere, but he told me the story. Said they got him out there and they's all patting him on the back and drink this and drink that. And hey, you want something to eat? And then all of a sudden they just started beating the hell out of him. And Don said, hey, I just lucky I could get away. They were out like they weren't in a bar anymore. They were out in like the woods somewhere. And he said he ran off, spent the night in the woods. And finally the next day when the sun came up, he found somebody and they took him in and he found his way back home somehow. That's the story. And they told him that, what they were trying to tell him is, hey, don't use the biker gimmick because you're not entitled to do it.
Which is funny because you remember Hillbilly Jim? He was called Harley Davidson, wasn't he, in Memphis?
Memphis is a little different, though. Yeah. Harley Davidson. But Harley Davidson wasn't the name of a group. It wasn't Hell's Angels or the Prophets or whatever. He was the name of a motorbike, of a motorcycle, Harley Davidson. So nobody would get mad at him at that. But if you're the Hell's Angels or the Devils of Apocalypse or what's
like the Mongols, I know that was one as well.
Yeah, something like that. That group would take offense at that because it's their name and you were kind of using it to not poke fun, but, just using their name without permission. And they didn't like that.
Right, Dutch, someone just wrote to me and said, I posted a video as we record this 3 hours ago about like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and slimming down and everything. And someone wrote to me and said, oh, by the way, you've just been added to the Wikipedia page on the cast list. One sec. I'm going to...
I can't see that.
No, I can't even see it. Anyway, someone's, for some reason on Wikipedia, has added my name, and I'm now the ring announcer in the Smashing Machine. I didn't even know it was there.
Really?
Yeah, there you go.
Added your name?
Yeah, apparently I'm on the cast list. Amazing. I might get a card, an equity card.
Wait a minute. That's a shoot?
Someone's added my name as a joke.
Oh, okay.
But
okay,
yeah.
I got it.
There we go. Right, okay, let's move on. So